Hello, and welcome back. If you're watching this video, you missed our week 2, day 2 experience. Hopefully you are keeping up. Let's go ahead and get to it. What did we do today? We did a quick warm-up. I'll show you in a second. We explored the design process finally. I've been talking a lot about it. Now we get to see what it is. We did an assignment, which I'll show you, and we watched a short video which you will need to review on your own to answer some of the questions in said assignment. And we finished up with a question and answer session. So if you have any questions that I don't address in the video, please make sure to send me an email so that I can get to you and make sure everything is good and you are happy. Our objectives are that you can utilize the design loop to solve problems, that you can assess it for possible improvements. Nothing is ever perfect, and those solutions fits every single problem. And lastly, you should be able to explain how the design process is applied to real-life situations to generate unique solutions. For our warm-up and for a lot of the things we're doing today, we are going to need the following handout. You can locate it by going to our MIME-CPS page right here. Click on Modules, scroll to Week 2, and you will find the assignment right here titled A4 Design Process. It is due tomorrow, September 11th at midnight, and is worth 20 points. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's look at what the assignment looks like. So there is a secret code embedded in my feedback for your assignment number 2 from Unit 1. The idea here is I would like to make sure you guys all know how to view my feedback. It'll be directly in the comments on the document itself. All you have to do is open the Google Doc back up and you will see my comments. Every single person received some, so please let me know if you're having trouble viewing those. I would like to give you 2 points for making sure you know how to do that. This is your own opinion, so please tell me what you think a designer's job is. Then the rest of the document you will be able to answer upon review of this lecture and watching the video at the end of it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the design process. Woo! The design process, as we're going to study it, is going to be the engineering design loop. It's going to contain 8 steps. The steps do not necessarily need to be taken sequentially, and they may be repeated more than once. So it's possible that you may complete step 1 just the one time, but go through completing the rest of the steps maybe 50 times. Or maybe you just need to repeat one of the steps an extra additional time in order to arrive at your desired solution. We're going to go through these one at a time. Everything starts with identifying the problem. So every problem is an opportunity for a solution. In order to get there, you need to first of all be honest about the requirements of the problem. And you need to clearly define the criteria and constraints. What do I mean by that? Let's say my problem is I just woke up. I need to dress myself. What are my criteria? Well, I need to look presentable for work. What are my constraints? Well, I can't get new clothes right now. I'm naked in my house. I need to go and use whatever's in my closet. So I'm constrained by the materials I have available to me. You need to figure out what goes well with your particular constraints. So these might be my options. You know, should I select this one? Should I select this one? Do I go with this one? Who knows? So you got to figure it out. Step 2 is to research and brainstorm some solutions. So what has worked in the past? What have people tried? What have people not tried? What is there little information on? You need to use all your resources. The internet is going to be a big one nowadays, right? But people, books, past experience, all are valid. Some of you might do some market research in your laundry basket to see if there's anything in there that you might want to wear again. But you know who you are. No solution is too outrageous, and you want to generate as many solutions as possible. So while you're researching, you're looking for things that have been tried, and you're also coming up with your own ideas that you think haven't been tried or haven't been tried the way you're intending to attempt them. Step 3, to select the best possible solution. So you're going to use what you researched and what you know, and you're going to evaluate what you've come up with and pick the best option. Now, how do you decide what the best option is? One approach is to use what's called a decision matrix. So a decision matrix is a way to organize information into quantifiable categories that you can then give yourself a grade on. So maybe a solution is really complex. Well, that's a strike against it. But maybe it costs very little. That's a point in its favor. So you can quantify how well each solution scores in each of the categories, and then by adding up the total score for each one, you can decide which one is technically the best. That is just one approach. There are many for selecting the best solution, but you need to somehow arrive at what you think is going to be best for the particular project. Step 4 is to take that solution and develop it. So that would be gathering the materials, preparing technical drawings, finalizing budgets, making sure any regulation is followed, creating a timetable. All of those administrative tasks need to be done before you actually begin to implement something. Step 5 is to make a prototype. When you're making your prototype, you want to make sure that you're not wasting a lot of time to make a really, really complicated prototype. Rather, you want to demonstrate functionality as cheaply and quickly as you can, so that if your customer is not satisfied with what you're showing them, you can quickly reverse course and do something else without investing a bunch of resources into something that's not going to work. Step 6 is to test and evaluate the solution. So this could be, presenting your prototypes. It could be doing more research. It could be a whole bunch of different things depending on what exactly you're trying to attempt. You need to create a test that's appropriate for the specific project you're working on, and you need to make sure you're evaluating your results rather than your expectations. So you need to look at actually what is going on rather than what you thought would be going on. This can be very difficult. You need to be honest with yourself, and that is a trick that comes with experience. So do not be afraid to fail in this class or otherwise. That is part of the engineering process, and our failures only make our solution better. If you try to cover up and say, well, I thought it went well, but really in your heart of hearts you know that not to be the case, you're really doing yourself and the whole process a disservice. Step 7 is to redesign and improve. So this could be going back to any of the previous steps in our cycle. It could be simply making some notes for the future. It really depends on the solution. But you're reviewing your test results and you're deciding what actions need to be taken next. And lastly, step 8 is to present the results. So all of this is useless unless we actually put it out into the general community so everyone has access to our findings. What sets us apart from other species is our collective knowledge base, and we can take this opportunity to grow it based on what you've done. If you don't do that, you're really doing everybody a disservice. Maybe someone else repeats your experiment. That's a bunch of wasted materials and time and money that could have been avoided. There's a video on RDEO, which is a company that specializes in the development process. Please review that video. There's also a link to it here, and answer the following questions. I'm not going to go through these. I'll let you figure them out on your own. If you have trouble with any of these or anything I went over, please shoot me an email and we can work on it together. That's all I have for you today, guys. Please keep in touch if you have any troubles, and I hope you have a good one.